isungile isuma iyamavuku yesu ukupakamisha ubumi bwesu ubutya busaka na fimbipo kabili ukubulongana mukwayi kuleita indukwa shonse.
LOLC Finance Zambia is one of the fastest growing non-bank financial institutions in the country, which offers personal, SME, and corporate tailor-made products to suit your every need. Our products include home loans, asset finance, which include auto, agriculture, and building supplies. We also have consumer loans, trade finance, business loans, group loans, bonds, and guarantees. You can also open savings and fixed deposit accounts at very competitive rates. Our head office is in Lusaka, Green City Office Park. We have 11 operational branches across the country, including Kabwe, Ndola, Kitwe, Chingola, Solwezi, Kamumbila, Mansa, Joma, Mongo, and Chipata. LOLC Finance Zambia. Imagine the possibilities. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Just as easy as 1, 2, 3, and all my clothes are squeaky clean.
Quick to remove the dirt and stains and a fresh sweet things.
Never seen nothing like it. That's exactly what I like it.
So real, so fresh that you open this every day. Seeking healthy for everyone.
Introducing Dairy Gold Full Cream Milk from our carefully selected farms to your home, packed with all the nutrients you need every day. Gold Full Cream Milk. It's farm fresh.
We've all done it. Yep. The slurp. There's the hot tea slurp. And then there's the not so nice drink slurp. Then there's the too thick to slurp slurp. And then there is the milk it slurp. With the milk it slurp, you can tell the subject wants to sip every drop of milky goodness in the pack until there is nothing left. I mean, there's even a new technique where the subject skillfully aims the straw at the corners of the pack so that in the end, total emptiness.
Now, how do you like it? This is how we make
Milky milkshake, the shake that moves. The Kettle News. The Kettle News. The Kettle News. The Kettle News. If it matters to you, it matters to us. The Kettle News. The Kettle News. The Kettle News. The Kettle News. If it matters to you, it matters to us.
Good afternoon, welcome to KFM News. This afternoon, today, the 10th of August 2024. To present it, I'm Jack Mapembulo. We first take a look at the top stories. Incarcerated Kawambwa MPs remain in high spirits Village headwoman Polo warns against cutting trees in the traditional burial site. Government gives Mansa Airport infrastructure upgrade a 739 million kwacha contract. In international news, dozens reported killed in Israeli strike on Gaza school building. In sports, US women reach 8th successive basketball final.
The KFM News. If it matters to you, it matters to us.
And now the news in detail. Incarcerated Pambashe PF Member of Parliament Honorable Ronald Kauma Chitotela and his Kawambwa Central counterpart Honorable Nixon Chilangwa have said they remain in high spirits despite being in incarceration, and the lawmakers have vowed not to shave in protesting to what they have termed as injustice of the highest order, the UPND regime. The two lawmakers have been incarcerated at Mansa Correctional Facility after being convicted by the Kawambwa Subordinate Court. They said this after PF members of Parliament led by Shwangandu PF Member of Parliament Honorable Stephen Kampyongo visited them this morning. They were accompanied by Wapula Constituency PF Member of Parliament Honorable Engineer Chanda Katotogwe, Bangaulu PF Member of Parliament Honorable Anthony Kasandwe, and Mpika Central PF Member of Parliament Honorable Francis Robert Kapianga. Honorable Chitotela expressed shock that he was convicted despite proving his innocence. Honorable Chitotela said he is a political prisoner and being persecuted simply because he is a PF lawmaker. And Honorable Chilangwa said this kind of injustice shall not go unnoticed. He said there are a lot of cases committed by the UPND that have gone without any action from law enforcement agencies. The Kawambwa Central lawmaker cited the killing of Jackson Kungo in Solwezi on the voting day and other criminal cases committed by well-known UPND sympathizers. Also incarcerated is Kawambwa Town Council Chairperson Chifumbi Kalumba, Kunda Chitotela, Chabu Chitotela, and Dave Kaniki. And speaking to journalists shortly after visiting the incarcerated lawmakers, Honorable Kampyongo said the PF lawmakers saw it fit to visit their colleagues at Mansa Correctional Facility just to give them the support at this crucial time. Honorable Kampyongo emphasized the need for the people to remain united in order to improve the governance system of the country. Village headwoman Polo in Chief Chimeses Chief Dome has issued a stern warning against the cutting down of trees in the traditional cemetery reserved for the burial of chiefs. Speaking to KFM News, headwoman Polo expressed deep concern over the disrespect shown to this sacred site. She emphasized the need for immediate action to halt this destructive behavior, vowing to take personal steps to apprehend those responsible.
Yamanda nomanga kwabo kuisha ncha kunga sikiliweza kwa mulando wa imanda yanta mtenda kwa icha bamu kwa liba kiralo tulapange kiralo tupangira timu kyanta ya manda enkanga temamu ya mwezi ya no babantu bale kokuya kutemanga abantu ninga kwa hiyo eto sisi
in response, Chief Chimese for the Ush people echoed the headwoman's concerns, urging the public to cease the felling of the cutting of trees. The traditional leader highlighted the critical role of forests in mitigating climate change and underscored the devastating impact of drought experienced in other regions.
One day, Kesateke a meeting, Kumushkuide, Kulakuide, Ukumono Kutirati, Muratema, Imande, Yosefie, whether the Kumalala Fumu, Kumalala Bashanuko, Manda, Momu, Yumutoka in a patch time moine, that Mona, climate change. Mukutematebe Fimuti, Requata Muchila. Eicho lekeni kuteme vimu uyo mukasangako eicho bose bakulubamisha moneni okuti ati abantu baleke kutema vimuti intambi twawunaawuna mwe bantu mwe apo fena konse okunatukanya nomba yakutema teme vimu apolisi nabe mapasika kumona okuti ati abantu tabaletematema vimuti ekonomba wemwikala kyalo waya mukutema vimuti mumanda nakatinayo.
Meanwhile, village headman Lucas Amirion reports a decline in illegal activities among the youth in his community. The traditional leader says the village has established a committee to address issues of underage drinking and verbal abuse before escalating matters to the palace. Headman Amirion emphasizes the need for increased council inspections of beer outlets such as those selling chibuku to ensure compliance with regulations and operating hours. He pledges continued efforts to curb antisocial behavior among young people.
Ine musumu wandinga kwesa milio nali mo every bachintonfo walikwata zone committee kuba twapa zone ine mukumara kwa nipoti ba council walikwato umulele to chawo bale poker revenue bale enda door to door mumishi bale pitamo ukumona bakashya bama batch muntu kwosya chibuku bafiro ita inspect ishera kwata building yisuba che pale toilet pale moniko usaka panoma ero ba council wale pera ma license ya muntu wampera pata list ya kuma nomba mushishelero ba council nabo kwatomulele sana balere geshere banyana benaga akashishabe nangufi bantu bashitshoko roba makaindi bali pebwe nkoloko ya kwisira kwa mapa ema night club abantu tabafiro kwiswa 6 hours 06 hours 10 hours no stay isu nesta kwisa ela kote firo kujira 24 hours ya ufiri bali sago ya night club.
Government has signed a contract worth 739 million kwacha with China Jiangsu International Corporation Limited for the upgrading of critical infrastructure at Mansa Airport. Transport and Logistics Minister Frank Tayali says the contract to upgrade the airport will be done within a time frame of 17 months. Speaking during the signing ceremony of the contract in Lusaka yesterday, Mr. Tayali said government remains committed to transforming the country into a transport and logistics hub. Meanwhile, China Jiangsu Deputy General Manager Deng Yajun has expressed gratitude to the Zambian government for the trust they have shown in the campaign. Muchinka or Mansa District Community Agriculture Camp CSC has appealed to the authority in Mansa District to tend to the aid of the farmers at Masaba as the Food Reserve Agency FRA removed the use of Fibale Depot and pushed them to a distant Chikosh satellite. Speaking to KFM News, Mr. Kalunga Piri, a member of the committee, highlighted the challenges the farmers from Masaba and surrounding areas will endure to Chikonshi. Mr. Kalunga says the development will force farmers to sell their maize to briefcase buyers and the local Chibuku brewers instead of the FRA. Mr. Kalunga says the district CSC is asking the Mansa District Agriculture Coordinator, the District Commissioner, and other relevant authorities to quickly intervene in the matter. He says farmers are calling for the reopening of the Fivale satellite immediately. Mr. Kalunga further says the remaining option for small-scale farmers at Masaba is Mwanachama, which is too far.
They are spending a lot of money on Mataba Scholarship. So I are appealing to the government to take the Ministry of Agriculture so Bafama Nama China, Baba meaning now, Labantu Alabama, Abantu Alabama, so we can talk about one of the government to give money tires, to give like a Masala, to a Pama, now they are first people at the bamuwi.
The opposition advocate for People's Prosperity APP President Mwenyamusenge says his party was formed with a more advanced economic trajectory to enhance national development for the country. Mr. Musenge is calling on members of the public to join the titular of national economic that will not squander national resources for only the small grouping to benefit the national cake. Mr. Musenge says Zambia is a country that requires leaders with hearts for a national development. He further stated that Zambia, being a developing country, requires a leadership with a honest approach to national economic dealings. He further said time had come for Zambians to rise and defeat national misfits.
We are sure to all the country. Kupinga walikilala kuchukina. Mtungurusha tuvika asile satishin kasingi si atemu mtungurusha pia mpika kukuile chuma cha kuteko. Antu na wala wale shawonsa wala kwa tege chuma chonse wafile pisa kwa tuwatake kwa tata isikulwa ikia tiara mchukina. Ifyo tabara kwete tabara ina mapoliti. Na malosho mpenu mtumafula nirunga. Wakile nubara kwa nisha mkushita. Abantu tule watu wanistama takianiteli wanistama basi yangu wanistama kula wale ingra na mapoti wa andlama no kukakwa okay. So challenge chile faye tubushi satishe. That's why if we pipi pali no statule wa berata. Isele mutronga no chai pipi kombe. Ime nevera zambia kichingi utumbushi. Sin tumbushi isikokuwe question tumbushi nekensi etusha. That's how expand them and take them for Sigistan. Every side can let you pick a tempo today. And this parents here, we have several of the solution to be a woman I sing Dimbo. Solution open up for Simba something of the super much for. No who will assist my letter members in this. Yeah, start what I come back.
Mr. Msenga was speaking to KFM News on how elected leaders have not been honorable enough in serving ordinary Zambians with great national resources at their disposal. And now, before we get to the international news, a recap on the local news headlines. Incarcerated Kawambo MPs remain in high spirits. Village head woman Paul warns against cutting trees in the traditional burial site. Government gives Mansa Airport infrastructure upgrade a 739 million kwacha contract. Coming up is the international news and sports.
If it matters to you, it matters to us.
An Israeli airstrike on a school building sheltering displaced Palestinians in Gaza City has killed dozens of people, Hamas-run authorities in the territory say. A spokesman for the Israeli Defense Forces IDF said Al-Tabain school served as an active Hamas and Islamic Jihad military facility with approximately 20 militants operating there. More than 60 people were killed and 47 injured, the Health Ministry's ambulance service said, quoted by the AP news agency. Earlier, the Gaza Civil Defense Agency, a rescue service, said at least 90 people were killed. The BBC cannot independently verify figures from either side. Pressure is mounting on Kenyan police officers to deliver on their promise to help bring Haiti rampant gangs under control 6 weeks after setting foot in the Caribbean nation, when the first contingent of 200 elite Kenyan police officers flew into Haiti's capital, Port-au-Prince, on 25th June. They fired confidently off their Kenyan Airways flight, clad in helmets and combat gear, carrying their weapons and holding high the Kenyan national flag. They chanted in Swahili while they psyched themselves up on the airport tarmac, as did the second batch of 200 Kenyan officers who landed 3 weeks later. Hopes were high that the Kenyan police would bring much-needed muscle to Haiti's beleaguered national police as they struggled to hold back a deadly offensive by Haitian criminal gangs that have terrorized the capital and large swaths of the country for more than 3 years. The Kenyans are the advanced guard corps of a UN-mandated multinational force that will seek to restore peace to Haiti. They were initially welcomed and feted by Haitian government leaders and by many in Haiti's media too. And now in sports, the United States remain on a course for an 8th consecutive Olympic gold medal in women's basketball by reaching the Paris 2024 final. The US stretched their Olympic winning run to 60 games as they beat Australia 85-64 in the semifinals. They laid 45-27 at halftime and 66-40 at the end of the third quarter before stretching their advantage to 30 points at one stage during the final quarter. Brenna Stewart scored a game-high 16 points for the U.S., while Jackie Young added 14. The last time the U.S. women's team lost at the Olympics was in the semifinals at Barcelona 1992, when they were beaten by a team from the Commonwealth of Independent States, CIS, formed after the dissolution of the Soviet Union. The second semi-final on Friday proved to be a far closer contest as Belgium took France to overtime before the game's host clinched a nail-biting 81-75 victory in overtime. The final will be played on Sunday, and the US will also face France in the men's final on Saturday. We now come to the end of this afternoon news bulletin, but before I run a recap on the top stories, incarcerated Kaombo MPs remain in high spirits. Village head woman Polo warns against cutting trees in the traditional burial site. Government gives Mansa Airport infrastructure upgrade a 739 million kwacha contract, and dozens reported killed in Israeli strike on Gaza school building. In sports, US women reach a successful basketball final. Ends the news at 10 hours. Thank you for joining us on the 95.5 frequency and on Facebook, K-FM 95.5. We will have another bulletin coming up at 18:15 this evening. You can join my colleague Mukenge Kaunda at that particular time. On behalf of the entire news crew at K, I'm Jack Mopembola. Keep listening to K.
The Careful News. If it matters to you, it matters to us.
It's not a meal, but it's just as filling. It's not a fruit, but it's just as giving. It's Shaky Joe. Shaky Joe.